Good morning and welcome back to Horse Racing Today. Tom is supposed to join me this morning. I don't know. Hopefully everything's all right with him. But right now it's just me. So we're back after a couple of days of cancellations at Parx. We're going to do Gulfstream Park today. Hopefully Thomas joins us shortly. It'll be a little bit different show today than ordinary because, well, introducing the full data sheets for one. And then number two, also, I had some issues yesterday. Both of my heaters broke here in Chicago. I have one in the attic, one in the basement. And if you look up the Chicago weather, it's approximately, 5 degrees outside, 10 degrees outside. Pretty horrible. Yes, indeed. Let's have a good day again today. I hope Tom joins me shortly. As always, we have some free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheets. Louisiana Downs today. There is a link in the description below. You can go ahead and get that right there. Kindly use that so they know where you're coming from. But let's get cracking with race number one. Hopefully Tom joins me shortly. Otherwise, be a lot of talking from me. It's going to be 6 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming $25,000 purse, 36 grand. Profile of a winner favors early speed. 34% of the time they go wire to wire. There is an inside to outside post bias in terms of post positions. As I mentioned, we're going to introduce a little bit something different today. Here I have the full sheets available now for all the data that we talk about. So first thing up here is the horse that has a big speed figure advantage of at least 3 points or more. We have our simulation odd, first call leaders, and so forth. So we have the jockey trainer stats, first time starter stats. They had bullet workouts. If they've improved their pace or their fractions, they're up and down in class, par races, par plus. Down here we have the racing style, the speed charts, as well as the comfort zones. So all of that information is available. There is a link for that in the description right here in YouTube. The Gulfstream Park, the first race is in 31 minutes. Is that right today? Maybe that's why Tom is a little bit late. They're going to start a little bit later than usual. All right, well, maybe I'm off on that. So I don't know where Tom is. Hopefully he joins me soon. Otherwise, I think I may have screwed everything up. All right, so if that's the case, let's take a look at the picks for today. In race number one, I think I have screwed everything up. So forgive me, folks. Tom has the 6-1-3. I have the 3-2-1 and 6. So I like the 3 horse Mohawk River, the only horse with a par run on the race. 2, Sunday Song, very likely to be on the lead. Number 1, Map This, top rated first timer, strong on the rail. And then number 6. Nice and Good is the other first-time starter for Chad Brown. Does sound like Thomas has joined me. Thank you, Thomas. I think I screwed things up again. How are you today?
I'm here.
Right.
Had a little technical problem, but
it happens.
That's life.
Yes, my whole life is a technical problem. At times, it feels like, my friend.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've had some fun today.
Yeah, 2 technical problems yesterday with the heaters, both of them busting out, and I don't know. Is it really 30 minutes to race one? Did they change the starting times down there in Gulfstream?
Yeah, I think they did.
I wasn't ready for that.
And I've been watching it to get in case there are any additional changes.
All right. Well, I went through my picks. We can go through your picks, and then we can kind of rewind a little bit on the data a bit. But what do you like and why?
I start with 6. Nice and Good. Chad Brown horse, paid $210,000 for it. And in for 25. Average Works. Somebody will obviously claim this horse. That's kind of the idea, right? EU claimers, he's 10%, but claimer starters, he's 26%. Yeah, favorite. 1, Map This. He's got 2 good gate works and some other works to get preparing for this race. First timer. Trainer debut claiming 25% rate out of a sample of 20 starters. And even more interesting is positive ROI. And finally, I'll take the 3. Mohawk River adds blinkers. Hasn't had them on since June of 2024. Back to a level. He's been okay. IRAD's up. Yeah. Gotta always look at that.
Yeah, anytime you have Irad, it's one that worth pay attention to. So we have a little bit of time. I didn't realize that they were starting a little bit later to kind of run through what's available in these sheets. If you look in the description on YouTube, there is a link so you can follow along with the data or come back to it later on. So I mentioned up right here, the first thing is a speed edge. We talk about that on the show with Andrew Beyer, saying any horse that has a 3-point figure, better than everybody else, worth monitoring. Here's our simulation odds ranked from the best to the lowest, according to our 1,000 simulations. Our projections for who's going to be on the lead. The early pace horses, if they have a gap, you'll see it here, much like you see with the late pace horse on the 3. Total pace numbers over here. We have over here the sim odds again, so you can compare them to look to see if there's any value. Which horses actually have a par race, and if you go through at the end of the day, you'll notice more often than not the winners have hit this level. Early pace improvement, mid-race improvement, late pace improvement, if they've had any quarter mile or half mile fraction improvement, if they're moving up or down in class, and how much they're moving up and down in class by length. If you have a first-time starter in here, it ranks them on that 3-point scale. Over here, we have the jockey and trainer win stats and in the money stats. And this is relative not to like their overall, but the other jockeys and trainers in this race. Down here, we have our C-zone again, which horses are going to get a comfortable trip, and then where they want to be on the track. So you see in here, the 2 horse, probably the most comfortable, should be in the pace position today. And then a speed chart, again, using their recent speed figures, we plot out a stock chart, and it's compared to the other horses in this race, not compared to their own numbers. So you see here, of the horses with experience, the 3 horses is definitely shown its top and its bottom and its average are better than the rest of the horses with some experience. You can catch all of that. Again, there's a link in the description, so check that out soon. They should be available for every race, every day, everywhere where they have thoroughbred racing in North America, between Canada and the U.S. Maybe we'll figure out a way to do Foreign Fridays as well. But this took long enough. I don't know about the Foreign Fridays, Tom.
Yeah, you want more challenges.
Yeah, that's what I need. All right, race. I'm working on some other things already. It's just terrible. All right, so we're going to go off to race number 2 now. Race number 2, as far as its conditions, what we're looking at here is a maiden claiming. It's a mile on the turf. What was supposed to be on the turf? It's not on the turf today. It's a $170 on the Tapeta course, according to the profile of a winner. A $170 on synthetic. Thomas favors stalkers. 18% still managed to go wire to wire. The rail gets a big discount, so Colorful Lady could struggle. 2 and 3, a bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 are fair. 8 and out, a small discount. Once again, I'll pull up the data here. You see for race number 2, we don't see any horse with a big speed figure advantage. The 3 looks like it might be the simulation odd favorite, but the number I see the most across here is the 4, Thomas. Maybe 4 is one to focus on. Hasn't had a par race, though, so maybe a little bit of questionable. The 1 and the 6 catching the best jockey. Looks like the 1 has the best trainer. So maybe the 1 from a jockey trainer standpoint. It's also moving down in class, but the 2 horse with the biggest class drop in there. You can see here that the 9 and 11 with the strongest, as well as the 4 strongest comfort zone. Thomas, who did you like?
Start with 1, Colorful Lady. Drops into a maiden claimer after a dull effort. Last out. I ran up in return. They're going to put blinkers on. 3 workouts for this race, so we'll see. I don't think surface will matter. 3, Jams Paper Moon. Not much in the first start on the all-weather, but I think it'll be better today, and has run better. So, and 5, British Empress, final choice. Ran well enough last time. Went 3 wide, just didn't finish. She's shown good speed. 5-year-old, maybe get it done. Maybe get it in the money. That's a possibility.
The quintessential Tom horse. Well, where you stop, I start. So I think it's got a good shot to win. I think the switch to all-weather could be the key to the win. I mean, it's run on it 7 times, 3 seconds and 3/3. The 1 horse, Colorful Lady, better early pace in its last race. Made a special weight dropper. That's always key. 3 decent workouts since that last race. Time is magic. No, that should be time is an illusion. This horse is making the third start for the first time in its career. Tom, I call that my finally healthy angle. And then Margot, Treasure, another finally healthy contender with that 7, making second start in a row for the first time. And only the 4th start, Tom, for a 4-year-old. And that's something I learned from you, because you point out a lot of times these horses that are a bit older that are making a limited number of starts. So why do you find that to be a valuable angle for you?
For me, they've been very patient, number one, with the horse. The other is to, sometimes they're just not mature enough. It takes a while. Some of these horses, especially fillies and mares, may take them a little longer to be fully developed and be able to run properly. And in the past, it's worked out. You can look at some of the better mares that ran, like Bayakoa. They only got good when they were older.
And I think you mentioned before, some horses, they do just kind of find their form a little late in their career.
Yeah. But I find with the mares is once they're done, they're done. I mean, they'll have their peak and they may sustain it for a while, like Passiana and Bayakoa, and then all of a sudden they'll just drop off, and it's time for retirement. Some of them were smart, like Azeri. They retired here after she won her big races and didn't have that fall off.
5.5 furlongs for race number 3. Hopefully we can be hot today, claiming 17.5, 4-year-olds and up that have not won 3 races. The great thing about early in the year is the conditions really aren't all that expansive, so they don't have to find ways to get horses W's for the year. 5.5 furlongs does favor early speed. We're going to catch 2 of these races in a row. About 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. A bit of a rail bonus for Adios Now. 2 and 3, a bit of a discount. 4 through 7, they get the best going. And then 8 and out discounted. So an accordion effect. We'll take a look at our data for race number 3 here, Thomas. Does look like where speed's a key. That 4 horse might have a pretty good early pace advantage. More than a length, better than everybody else. About a 50% chance to hold that lead. It's a little bit down the scale on our late pace. Total pace picture is pretty fair in there. Usually the top 4 produces the winner about 70% of the time. If you're looking for a horse that hits par already, you got the 1, the 2, and the 4. All of them except the 5 are class dropping. If you want to play the jockey angle, that's the 4 as well. Got a couple trainers in here with the 2 and the 5. And finally down here, your top comfort zone horse is the 6 horse. Thomas, who do you like in this spot?
Well, start with the favorite, 4, Rachel's Coach. Last race was at Del Mar, showed speed, got tired late. Returns to the all-weather and got a good record at Golden Gate. Since Golden Gate no longer exists, you got to run or you can run all-weather.
Yeah, well, they're in Turfway, right?
Yeah, that's an adventure by itself. Fast workout at 46 and 2. And then there was a follow-by gate workout. Irad gets the call. He generally knows how to nurse a horse on the front end.
Yes, he's got big elbows down the stretch.
Yep. Adios 1 and Adios Now, the 1 horse, non-threatening in 2 races at this level. And he put a fast work up into this race, which was interesting. Third up, trainer numbers are 21% from a sampling size of 70 horses. That's not bad.
No, good numbers there.
3-0 is going to be my final one. Likes to run second and third. Done it 15 times. He's been in the money in all his all-weather races, which is pretty good. So getting him off the ticket may be a mistake.
Well, I left him off my ticket, so it probably is a big mistake. But Rachel's Coach might be such an aggressive early pace lead where 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. As you pointed out, Tom, I'm glad to see you dig through those PPs pretty deep. The best races were on the Golden Gate all-weather track. And the last time, its best race was a wire-to-wire win. That was at Golden Gate on the synthetic course. Looks like that horse is going to be on a lead today, so maybe another wire-to-wire win on a synthetic course for Rachel's Coach. Ortus, the 2 boomer bust race coming in the second race after a layoff following more than a year on the sidelines. That's how it's worked for me anyway. Can't know it all. Isn't that true? Better early pace last time out, early fractions as well. You'll see that in our score right here. Can't know it all. Better pace early, better fractions early in there. Room to be better in the third start after a layoff. And then Adios Now, another horse that does hit par so far, making that third start after a layoff, does have a nice workout in between spots. Again, if you want to take a look at this data, there is a link in the description on the YouTube channel. Check that out. Horse number 3 was scratched in race number 3. That must be a late scratch there, Thomas.
Yep.
All right. Well,
didn't get that one, but that's the way it goes.
Any alternatives for you in that one?
1 for 2.
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit of a price.
Yeah, we'll take a little bit of a price from time to time. Let's go on to race 4. It is a 9 race card. Another 5.5 furlong sprint on the all-weather. As we pointed out, 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. A little bit of an accordion effect. Rails good, 2, 3 not so good. 4 through 7 the best, 8 and out. A little bit of a discount. What did I say? A little bit of it. I think of that song, A Little Bit of Nadia. You remember that song, Tom?
Sort of.
For the first time today, we do see. I'm sure someone knows the name of it. I don't know. We see a horse with a pretty strong last race speed figure advantage over everybody else. Book. Boob. I don't have the whole thing up on there. It is also our simulation favorite. No horse in this race so far has hit par. Everybody a class dropper a little bit, 0.4 of a length. So really not that big of a drop. The other horse in here, the 4 and the 8, moving up a little bit. If you're looking for that early speed, it does look like the 1 horse will be in that mix, but that 8 horse could challenge. A little bit of a mixed picture there. Number 1 jockey on the 8 horse, the number 1 trainer with the 5 horse, Nvidia, named after the chip. The 8 horse with that early pace advantage, strong C zone. We've seen those horses work out pretty well. None of the horses in here really scoring that high on some other data as well. All right, Thomas, who do you got for your top pick in race number 4?
Now we'll start with that long name that the race caller should love to be able to call.
I'm sure that Pete Aiello will absolutely lean right into it.
Yeah. Nana boo boo. Boo boo. Last time in a maiden claimer, bad trip, bumped wide, all kinds of issues. I think she'll improve today. 3, Dawn's Mist. It's going to be next. Awful race first time out. Came back with 2 works, 1 bullet and 1 really good work. So the only question I have is with the trainer. Not a great record. And 5, Nvidia. The stock has been a good investment if you have played that stock.
Mm-hmm.
The horse showed speed and went in reverse. She's going to return to the all-weather. She had 3 times and not much. 7-pound apprentice again. She rode her 2 starts back and just missed with her. So maybe that's the key.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the chip, Nvidia. Weight break, maybe cut back in the distance helps out here. And I think in a pretty open race. Nana boo boo. May not look like it, but on paper, but a pretty solid chance to be forward versus these, and is our simulation favorite, as we see on the sheet here again. Blazin' Praline, the 7 horse, plenty of upside potential, just making its 3rd career start. And then the 8 horse, No Tip Tony. Another that should be forward, cut back in distance, good chance to be on the lead with that strong C zone. We've seen that combination, especially with a solid jockey, prove to be an effective way. It's also the lone E horse over here. Many times those horses do find their way to the winner's circle. Number 4 just didn't register at all at -7. So that's why it didn't show up as a first-time starter in our data. Because I was wondering, why is it all zeros in there? Have you ever seen a horse run a -7 before, Tom?
Yeah, and how many lengths did it lose by last time?
Like 65.
So absolutely a lot of interest in racing.
How many lengths is a 1 mile race? I'm curious. Did it just not run?
Apparently not.
Yes, just stayed on the sidelines. That's interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, you can't bet that one under any circumstances, at least not today. But you know that it probably finds its way to the winner's circle after that brilliant commentary. What is -7? Does it mean it actually ran backwards? How's that even possible? I would think 0 would be the lowest.
Well, some of my horses sometimes do, so it's certainly possible.
We had a good day on Foreign Friday, though, Tom, in Australia.
Oh, yeah, I had a couple winners, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, not too bad at all. So there will be no Foreign Friday this week, unfortunately. Tom has got to report to pitchers and catchers.
We're going to miss the Saudi Cup.
And, well, maybe we can put something up online about that. And then
Romantic Warrior and Forever Young, plus a cast of others. And Romantic Warrior drew inside post and Forever Young's outside. So we'll see.
It's amazing what 8-figure paydays will do.
What is it? 10 million plus is the winning.
Like that.
Yeah. So that'll get people to wake up quick.
Yeah, that draws a lot of characters. Terry will be back tomorrow. We'll have our normal routine of bets and hopefully a normal routine of the way the way we lay out stuff. Today, again, just too many problems yesterday to get the normal amount of time I spent prepping just for the data parts for the show and stuff like that. So middle race of the go ahead, Tom.
Doing the best we can.
Yeah, well, you had technical problems. I had really technical problems. It's probably around, I don't know, maybe 55, 60 degrees in this room right now. It's not all that warm, unfortunately. But hey, 6 furlongs. The racing should be hot there, Tom, because a lot of them go wire to wire on that dirt there. 34%. There's only 134 in the entire history of the world, Thomas. That is Walter Payton, at least if you live in Chicago. There's an inside to outside bias. So the faster you are on the inside, the better chance you have to win. Do we have any horse on the inside with a lot of speed? Well, looks like the 1 horse might fit that bill, but the 8 horse on the outside midnight special, they'll be a part of that. 5 also has some early pace in there. So this looks like a really competitive race from the starts. If you're looking for some late pace, check out that 4. The 4-1-7-5, they combined for the best total pace pictures. All of them have hit par. That tells me that there's any horse can pretty much win. You see a lot of them improved with their pace and their fractions. 3 of them dropping just a small amount in class. 5 horse posting the top jock, the 1 horse the top trainer combination. And down here, 4 horse grading out as your top comfort zone horse. All of them should be middle forward. And if you're just looking at the speed chart, it does look like the 7 has the best average and max out as far as the speed figures are concerned, Tom. We're more concerned with your picks, so tell us who they are in race number 5.
Slightly confused on your numbers because the 1 is dropping, and you had it as even. So
what I did, Thomas. So this is how I structured this. On paper, sometimes things look like drops, and I've always thought about this. But what I did was I actually take the average. I take the Brisnet speed figures for the average winner for the races and compare this race to the last one.
Okay.
And that's how I actually, so if the Brisnet average winning speed figure is 86 for both races, it's a push. Even though on paper it might look like a drop.
Well, we have the same horse. So woke up quick. Drops after a win, little time away. Workouts are decent. Rail, speed. Right jockey who knows how to nurse speed on the front end. And since the outside speed, we'll have to make a little more of a trip. We'll see. 4, Solomon's Gold, 1 and claimed out of the last 2 races each time. Been in the money at this level decently, likes the distance, and I thought it'd be the favorite, but I don't know. 1 may more likely. And finally, we'll take the 9 Bird Wildcat, claimed last time out off a winning effort. It's going 4. He's a couple in a row. He's done okay at this distance. Trainer wins at a 26% first out claim. So that's a pretty good record. Obviously, got a good idea of how to play the claiming game.
Mm-hmm. Question for you, Thomas. Out of any horse that you have on your card today, any one of them stand out as your best bet for you today?
Um,
I would say for me, the most likely winner, in my opinion, might be that 4-horse in race number 3, Rachel's Coach, with that aggressive early pace edge where 40% go wire to wire, and proven at Golden Gate that it can handle the I was going to say AstroTurf, but the synthetic. Yeah.
well, it'd be different. Yeah.
And the workout supports it, firing this time around. So I would say for me, the 4-horse in that race would be the one I would lean towards.
Yeah, I was the one I was most interested in was in the 8th race, number 6, Jimmy's Big Day, and we can talk about when we get to that one.
Yeah, indeed. We'll talk about Jimmy's Big Day when we get there. I like the 1-horse here too in race number 5 as my top choice. That one is the Woke Up Quick. Decent works, prepping, should be forward on that hot rail. The first up is the question for me because the resume is kind of spotty there. Bird Wildcat, all or nothing at the distance, 6 races, 3 of them ending up in the winner's circle. Hell, the 4-horse, though, its record at the distance, as they might say in England, it is the proper distance. 9 times out, 4 wins, 5 seconds. Similar fractions last time out at 7 furlongs as 6. And then the cut back to 6 furlongs should help out. And then Competitive Saint, most back class in the race. Strong chance to be an improved horse in the second start after a layoff. We move to the back half of the card. And if you haven't done so already, down below, Terry and I will return tomorrow for Gulfstream Park. Again, 4 and Friday, we're off for the next couple of weeks. Monday, Tuesday, Parx, Wednesday, Thursday, next week of Gulfstream Park. To make sure you don't miss that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, get in the description on YouTube. You can find all the data. There will be a link there. Just go ahead and click on that. And all of that will be available for all tracks in the not too distant future. It's all set up and ready to go, folks, finally. Next task is to do it for 4 and Fridays. All right. It's just,
Yes, at Hong Kong.
it ain't gonna happen. All right, we have a maiden claiming race in race number 6, 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. It's going to be run at 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta instead. Don't have any data for a profile of a winner, Thomas, but we do have the data for race number 6. You see here the couple co-favorites with the 4 and the 2. Over here, you see the 6-horse has a huge late pace advantage. Has a huge, it has a 5-point total pace advantage. Usually, once you cross 5, horse worth looking at. The 4 and the 6 are the only 2 to make a par race so far. The 3 has been close. Tom, in this race, which way did you go?
4, officer. Return to the races. Last time out, went off the favorite, showed some speed, and then ran like a horse who probably needed a race. Trainers good at second ups. 25% winners. Gets IRAD. Always got to factor that in. 5, Sir Magistrate drops to this level for showing little in 2 previous races, to say the least. Paid a lot of money for this horse, $223,000.
$2.
And trainer, Bill Mott, does pretty well at this level. When he brings them in, he wins at 32% clip. When he drops them. And this is an estate-owned horse, the estate of. So, yeah, I think they're looking to sell and get out. So why not? A good way to get out is let Mott put it into a claimer and see if they can get the win. And I'm going to take number 2, Justifiably So. I'm not a big Zito fan. He hasn't had much in many years. I don't think he'll win, but, this is an okay horse. But, yeah.
He's kind of cold, too.
It's Zito. He hasn't been warm and a lot of years.
No, he's definitely cold to start this year. He's 0 for 9 right down there. Hey, but he's still trying.
I think he had 2 winners last year or 3 winners. It was not good.
Just a few more than me. War Officer, the 4-horse, good chance to be better in the second start after a layoff. Switch to all weather, doesn't hurt this guy. Midnight Maestro, along with the 4, the only other horse in the race to get a par score. You always have to consider that in your handicapping. just proven it can win at this level, right? The others have it. The 5 horse, Sir Magistrate, is a maiden special weight dropper. Plenty of upside potential in just the 3rd career start. And then finally, Justifiably So. The only other time this horse did make it 2 races in a row, it did have an enormous step up in its performance. So if it can repeat that, it might be a very difficult one to contend with. I do have a pick 4 here, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 1, 7, 9. Race number 7, Tom, I think understanding how they work down there, we'll have time to get race 7 in before race number 1 takes off. The 7th race here is 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather, scheduled to be on the all-weather, claiming 12,500, non-winners of 3 in their lifetime. $170, as we talked about on the all-weather, does favor horses that come from off the pace. Stalker types, 18%. Go wire to wire. It's a big rail discount. 2 to 3 get a bonus. 4 to 7 to fair. 8 and out. Small discount. Tom, real quick, take a look at the data here. The 1 horse stands out as a horse with a pretty aggressive early pace lead. Why that doesn't show up on, late pace. All right, that makes sense now. Won't be a part of the early pace. Looks like the 5 is going to be your tone setter at the get-go. The 1 also has the strongest jockey-trainer combination, so that might be worthy of a look as well. You got the 1, the 3, the 5, 6, and 7, all with par races. Very few showing some improvement. The 3 horse is your lone class dropper, and the 4 and the 1, your top C-zone types in there. Thomas, quickly, who do you like in race number 7?
We'll start with 1, Secret Lover. Last time was the first try on the all-weather. Did okay. Returns at this level. Try again. I think he'll show a little more pace this time around. 3, Italian Symphony. Claimed 2 starts back for 7-5. It's going to returned with blinkers and failed. He drops back to a level I think he's more competitive at. Finally, I'm going to take Olos. I don't know. This is the most experienced runner on the all-weather. He's going to be interesting to see what he does. I think he's back at a level where he is very competitive, and he'll be making a wide move.
I almost feel like putting the 2 in here instead of the 1. That way we would have every horse in the race.
Well, we did a good job.
Yes. I have Whiting Field, all or nothing at Gulfstream. That one 5 times out, 2 wins. Nothing else. Won its last race. Good chance to build on that. Round 2 off the sidelines. Okanee Life gave up in his last race. Strong workout since. Switched back to Irad. I think that's a tell. The horse won the last time Irad rode him 2 races ago. Speed Control, the 6 horse, better early pace in its last race, has a nice maintenance workout to keep sharp. The only one Tom and I agree on in this race, the 1 horse, Secret Lover, has a 1 length late pace edge, as we saw in the data, over everybody else. And another one of those horses with a chance to be better in the second start after layoff. Also a strong jockey trainer combination in there. Let's see what race number 1 looks like, if they're about ready to get cooking with that one. I got to find the right screen, Tom, to do that. And that's this screen here. Race number 1. Yeah, they're starting milling around a little bit over there. So real quick again, free track today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet is Louisiana Downs. There's a link in the description. Wherever you found us, click on that, and you'll see here. Race number 1, Apolitical Rogue, the 6 horse, in the 350-yard dash in those popcorn races. And the maiden claiming, boy, that's an aggressive play right there. But pay attention to that one. Well, he's scratched out. So, and then when the show is over at horseracingtoday.net, we will post a link right in here with all of our comments as well as our selections. Hopefully, we'll get that done today. I still got a lot of cleaning up work to do from the broken heaters. See if I can get the temperature higher than 60 degrees for most of the house. Right here on HRT Gear, click on that kindly to support the show. Get a T-shirt, a hat. I know it's supposed to be 5 or 6, but the spring weather should be getting here sooner or later, Tom.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's the way it feels about it now. That's why Tom is reporting for pitchers and catchers. Get the hell away from this Siberia.
Well, it's supposed to be in the 80s, mid-80s. So, yeah. Let's see. I can stay here, or I can go slightly warmer.
Yeah, I think we're going to go slightly warmer.
Kind of a hard decision.
Yeah, I think not. So right now, according to our data here. The 2-horse spread there for. If we're looking for some overlays, looks like the 3, we have it as a 3-2, the only horse in the field with a par race. So you get a little bit of value with that guy. The 1 horse is 6-1. Some odds say 4.5-1 or 9-2. That might work out. 5 looks pretty fair. The 6 horse, maybe a little bit of an underlay, is that one we have at 5-1. Odds are half of that at 5-2. Chad Brown horse getting some play there. If you like the late pace, then you play the 3. If you like the early pace, you play the 2. Thomas, that's the way that looks right there. If you want to play the jockey, you play the 3 horse. If you want to play the trainer, maybe the 6 or the 1. They're all lining up in there. Pretty much ready to go for that first race. Tom has the 6, the 3-2-1, and we agree on those other ones. They're all lined up. Peter Aiello about to let us know the ongoings of the opener at Gulfstream Park today. And they're off, and they are running a pretty competitive start, except for the 6 horse. He kind of broke a little sluggishly. The 1 horse has dipped out to the front. The 2 horse, I love when they go to that front angle and you have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on. All I know is that there's 4 horses across the track. One of them is strung way wide. That's the 7 horse. 1 horse right now on the lead. The 2 horse giving chase. The 3 horse is in third, about a length off the 1 horse. The 7 horse going to be forced wide through the turn. Could be a tough trip from out there. The 6 horse kind of tugging along in the back, trying to see if he can find some room. Looks to me like a lot of these horses still have horse left. The 3 horse jockey hasn't asked his horse to go, just trying to figure out where to go. The 2 horse jockey's out on him. The 3 horse is going to have to swing all the way around the track to try to go pie that 7 horse. Don't know that he's going to be able to do it. 7 horse is looking around for a horse, though, so that usually means they're going to give it up late. I don't know that he will because the jockey has gotten him straightened out, but he's still looking around for another guy. He found his other guy. Let's see if he responds. He absolutely did respond. 7, 3, 5, and 2. What a great way to come back, Thomas. 7 going off at 6-1. Let's take a look at some of the data there and see if we saw any. Well, the 7 did show some improved early pace and mid pace last out. Sideways horse in there. Everybody else kind of moving up or down except for the 3, which went down in class. 7 horse really not grading out very well there either, but did have a pretty tight range. It's the second best speed chart horse there, Tom. Second best on the total pace as well. Pretty good on the early pace, pretty good on the late pace, pretty good on the total pace. So maybe that was the angle to play there. Speaking of 7s, we just finished that. Race number 8 begins the late daily double, Tom. It is a 7 furlonger, optional claiming 20 grand. 4-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of $12,005 or less since February the 19th, or a claiming price of 20 grand overall. Let's take a look at the data sheet for race number 8. Well, the 7 horse pops out as our top total pace horse in there. If you want the simulation favorite, that's the 1. Early pace is the 6. Everybody but the 2 with a par race in there. Very little improvement, although the 2 horse did show some improved fractions. Couple of class droppers, most of which are class risers. Looks like the jockey and trainers are right down here with the 6 and the 7. If comfort zone is your thing, the 7 horse, our top total pace horse, should find this race to his liking. Tom, who do you think will find this race to its liking in race number 8?
I'm going to take number 6. Jimmy's Big Day. Last start was a win at Woodbine, so that's all weather. Then shipped down, changed trainers to Joseph Safi. Going to move up a little in class. All his wins are on the all-weather, but his works are good to very good. And my comment was, this is a curious place to start the horse, but Scott, I read, and something may be up. So maybe make it a decent price too. 7 Belts in Brooks is next. Well, last race was nothing special. Showed some early and didn't show much after that. Was claimed from that race. Returns to the same level. Okay. Works are good, but the trainer's off the claim is only 8%. So I'm not going to rush to the window for the win is. And 4, about Glory is going to be my final one. One at this level and distance, has pace and speed, and you got to put him in there as a contender without question.
Tom Horse. Pascal Moon, the 3. Gulfstream Park success, 4 times out, 3 of them in the winner's circle, 1 of them in the second place spot. All or Nothing at the distance, 7 times out at 7 furlongs. 4 wins, does favor early speed with 32% of the horses going wire to wire. A little bit of an inside 3 discount, 4 through 7 the best. 8 and out, take a pretty big hit. I'm going to go with Avant Glory as the second horse in the money, 6 of 7, Tom, at the distance. A couple of maintenance workouts between starts. Santos to Wilson. Smoked around the track in its last race, and usually big wins are followed by another good race. In fact, one of Barry Meadows' alpha angles that win at 15% or more is when the horse wins by more than 1.5 lengths in the prior start. And then Jimmy's big day, Safi and Irad together, when they hit, they win at 30%. Surprisingly, the ROI is pretty close to break even. Woodbine All Weather is where that horse was normally run on. He's coming in as a northern invader. A lot of those snowbirds down there in Florida. Just ask the Floridians in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I don't know about the dirt race.
He's running the turf too, but all his wins are on the all weather.
Yeah, so I'm not so sure about the dirt there. So we'll see how that plays out.
The works are good, so something must be positive.
Thank you, Don, for joining us today. Race number 9 is the last race of the day for you and I, Thomas, before you head off. Lube up that arm, get that 95-mile-an-hour fastball and that 87-mile-an-hour breaking pitch sharp to start the season.
My curve really sucks.
Yeah, you don't have a good curveball?
Nope.
I don't know if I used to throw, but I don't like. I don't know if I can do it anymore. I think this is the third one. 5.5 furlongs, third one like that today on the all-weather. It's fast. It's an optional claiming 17.5. 3-year-olds, which is started for a claiming price of 17.5 or less. Never won a race other than maiden or claiming price at 17.5. As we mentioned, speed really is the way to the winner's circle at this distance. About 4 out of 10 going wire to wire. So if we're looking for speed there, Tom, the 5-horse looks like it might be the quickest of the bunch. Got a couple of others in that mix. Late pace belonging to the 7. It also has a top total pace gap of 9 points to the rest. All right, Tom, for the last time before you go to where it's going to be 85, I freeze in my 30-degree room. Who do you got to close the show today?
I'll send you a ice pick so you can work on the icicles that are forming around the house.
They are, for real. I mean, I think upstairs.
We'll start with 6, Carcone, my top choice, returned after a layoff with an inside run. It resulted in a nice finish, second place. Didn't really have much chance to get to the winner. He won at the Finger Lakes in a maiden race, and they put him in stakes company in the turf, and he was eased. That was not the spot for him, obviously. Works are good for this race. 7, Dios Will. Shown speed 3 out of his 4 races. Got a win, 2 second finishes doing that. Going to change the jockey today. I think he's going to put him on the lead and play Try and Catch Me. And number 4, Western Shaft, my final choice. Shown some pace in his races, but only has a maiden claimer win. That was in his first start. Now he's going to return to the 1 turn and second start. We'll see. I mean, he's got Lasix going to add today. He had a little trouble in the last race, so maybe a little cleaner trip results in some better results.
7 for me is the top choice. Dios Will, God's Will, only horse with a par run. Big late pace edge, and should be right on the pace today. Hollywood Mayhem, the 9, better in both races after his debut, winning the last 2 since moving to all weather, so maybe likes the synthetic. My Sergeant, strong rail edge for that guy. Irad rides for the first time, and the first time this horse is making 2 starts in a row. the much hyped Finally Healthy Angle. And then finally, Mighty Murphy, huge improvement in second career race. Another step forward in race number 3. And look the bleep out. 7, 9, 1, and 5 for me. Here are our total picks for this day. Unfortunately, neither one of us had the 7-horse in race number 1, but it's the way we see the rest of the day. We have some agreement, some disagreement as we move down the card. Again, Terry and I will be back for Gulfstream Park tomorrow. No 4 on Fridays for a couple of weeks. Tom will return tanned, rested, and ready to roll 3 weeks from now. And until then, Thomas, we certainly hope that you have a safe journey. Everything goes according to plan. You enjoy yourself. But any final words of wisdom from you before you depart?
Well, let's see if we can get in the winner's circle for some of these races coming.
Yeah, we will. We'll definitely find some winners in there. Again, all of the data that we put up on the show today is available. There is a link in the description of YouTube. 3 picks today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Louisiana Downs. Help us out. Support the show. Get some Horse Racing Today gear. You'll find that at horseracingtoday.net in the menu for HRT gear. We'd greatly appreciate that. Tom, again, enjoy your trip, whatever folks you're doing for the rest of this day. We certainly hope it has God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do ends up in
the winner's enclosure.
Yeah, it's the circle up here, Tom.
I know.
Have a blessed Wednesday, everybody.